Today we're joined by the CEO of the deVere Group, Nigel Green. Welcome along.
Thank you very much.
So you're on a bit of a world tour at the moment. You started in Malta. Where have you been over the last few days?
I've been into London, next to Dubai, from Malta, then Abu Dhabi, and then down into Mauritius.
Okay, fantastic. So you're visiting offices, or what's the purpose of the
Visiting
trip?
offices, regulators, banks, so all CEO tasks that need to be done, and I'm having fun too.
Okay, brilliant. How do you manage to fit in seeing everyone in such a short space of time?
Diaries rammed and sleeping's cheating.
Good to know. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. We won't keep you too long. We'll keep it short and sweet. Yesterday in the morning meeting when you spoke to the Dubai team, you covered over goal planning for 2023. That's always been something that you've been very vocal about. Do you mind just explaining to the listeners how you go about planning your goals for the year and how you encourage others to do so?
Goal planning is vital. You've got to know exactly where you want to go. Do 3 sectors. So I do personal, business, and development. Then what I do is I take the factors. So once I've got the goal, define the goal. So no point saying fit and healthy. What does it mean? Then what's the factors to get fit and healthy? And then I diarise to make sure I'm doing the factors that it takes to achieve the ultimate goal.
Okay, and what's the most important things for you this year?
Well, fit and healthy is always everybody's goal, but when you define it, what does it mean? VO2 max is just one measure. I look at my blood tests.
What's VO2 max?
VO2 max is the amount of oxygen that you can pump into your lungs when you're running.
Okay.
So, longevity, if it's higher, that's good. If it starts to fade as you get older, that's not good. So you want to maintain it and improve it if you can.
Okay, so for you, it's not just about going running on a regular basis or hitting the gym. You're really looking at this deep down statistics and data to define if you're healthy or not.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you say that's your goal to be fit and healthy, well, what does it mean? How do you define it? So I want to define it. So there's lots of different measures. That's one measure. But I want to make sure that I'm in the right condition. So even a blood test to make sure I'm maximising my health. You can't do anything unless you're healthy.
So when you do your blood tests, what are the main things that you get feedback from that people should and perhaps are not aware of as much as they should be?
I'm looking at hormones, so I want to keep them at a younger age than an older age. Look at vitamin D in particular, so that's a master hormone. I'm looking at inflammation amongst other things, so you don't want too much inflammation in your body. So if I can keep my inflammation low, keep my hormones at the right level, you got a good start at least.
Okay, fantastic. So you've been quite well known for doing fitness hacks that are seen as a bit out there and different. Over the last few years, you've put a cryo tank in your apartment, which, what's the temperature in there?
Minus 141.
Minus 141, is that centigrade?
Yep.
Wow, okay, so you get in that once a day, is it?
I get in there every day, so I do my exercise. There's about an hour in between where I'll do some work, and then I'm minus 141. Sharpens the brain.
So what's the kind of science behind it? How does it work?
So if you go back over history, the human brain developed in the Ice Age. Okay. So just think you're actually getting rid of inflammation and you're making sure that your brain's sharp and everything's working. You're also getting rid of inflammation in your body. So imagine a cold shower, but extended. A very cold shower. But if you did a cold shower to do the same effect, you might take 20 minutes, an hour maybe.
Sure.
Okay, I can do it in 3 minutes in a nitrogen tank.
Okay, so much faster. Fine. Are there any new hacks that you've come across in recent weeks, in recent months that you're just starting to play with?
Yeah, okay, so right now I'm into electrical muscle stimulation. So I've got a brand new suit that came out in America, which has got 24 electrodes. And basically when you're exercising, you're stimulating the muscle at the same time as you're stimulating it with exercise with electricity. Okay,
so how does that work on the muscle? What does it do?
It's stressing it. So it's the same thing as doing, let's say, a 2-hour workout, but you can do it in 20 minutes and you're actually working 90% of the muscles in your body.
Okay, so by the sounds of it, what we've covered so far is everything you do for the maximum output for the minimum amount of time. I want
to be effective.
As efficient and effective as possible.
No, not efficient, effective. No? Yeah, so efficient, you got 100 emails, you send them all, that's efficient. Was it effective? Maybe not, right? So I'm actually aiming at effectiveness. What's actually going to make a difference? What's really going to make a difference? I don't want to just be efficient and get it done. I want to be effective.
Okay. Are there any other areas of your life that you try to be as effective as possible?
Everything.
Any examples?
Yeah, constantly. So I'm looking, I've got all my stats on here on my watch. I've got an Aura ring, which is giving me stats. And I've got a continuous glucose monitor on there. So I can see exactly what my glucose monitor says. So blood sugar. Then I also separately monitor my sleep. So I think lots of people do that anyway. But how do you make it more effective?
Okay.
Well, so think, you know, you're going to go to sleep, let's say you're going to sleep 8 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it wasn't great sleep. So one, could you be more effective, do it in less time, but you want deep sleep and you want REM sleep. So what things could you do before you go to sleep to make it more effective?
To maximise that.
Yeah, because you want to recover and you want to go. So if you want to be peak performance, then you've got to measure it, see what works, and see what's effective. Social media.
Massive.
Okay, it's massive. So what percentage of your time are you giving to it? Is it really giving you a result? Is it effective? So I'm looking at it in everything.
Okay, so recruitment's a massive drive for deVere this year. People listening that might perhaps have an interest in joining the company, what are you looking for in particular from candidates that would stand out?
Candidates stand out because they've got the right mindset. So Elon Musk, okay, I'd say he's 80% right. How does he find the right people? Okay, he doesn't necessarily want a degree. He actually wants somebody that's had issues and had to solve them themselves. He wants somebody that's positive and is a problem solver. I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for people that have got resilience, got the same culture as deVere, energy, growth mindset, want to develop.
And how do you see that? Is that because I know that the company now has integrated an e-interview system.
Yep.
Do you think that gives a better impression of people than a CV?
Yeah, I think CVs are often bollocks. People put what they like on them, okay, and people read a CV and do they really know? So, no, I've gone the route of you can apply. You don't have to do a CV. We do an interview with you, which is using AI. So it's basically giving us analysis. We also do a word survey. So again, it gives us, and then we're really looking at you as an individual rather than whether you passed an exam or what the CV says.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, now personal goals. What are we looking at for 2023?
Personal development in particular, AI. Okay, so I think it's just, everybody's kind of seen that there's things happening. I'm taking a deep dive into it.
Let's discuss ChatGPT then, because I know that's something that you've been quite vocal about in recent weeks.
Yep.
How do you think people within the financial services industry can benefit from ChatGPT?
I think ChatGPT is a game changer for everybody, whether you're in the financial services industry or any type of marketing industry, really.
Sure.
So you can create good text, you can find quality, you can, if I'm going to do a video, I can gain the precise information quickly. You can use Google, but it takes you longer. So you're saving time, you're getting precise information quickly.
What do you think is the future for AI then? If we look back 5 years and we see where we are today from that point and how AI has changed things so massively, and this does almost feel like it's just the start. Where do you see us being in the next 5 years when it comes to AI? What's going to change most?
I think it always scares people, AI, is it going to take over the world? I think it can make you more effective as long as you use it. So the calculator wasn't my idea. Someone else used it when comparing with ChatGPT. I think it's a great example. When calculators
does it for you?
Yeah, when calculators came out, people say, that's terrible because people have stopped doing mental maths. Well, you can't ignore the calculator. You just have to say it's a tool. You can use it. So think ChatGPT, rather than spending hours trying to search for things, it makes it much quicker. It's more effective. So instead of saying it's bad, actually embrace it and use it to the maximum.
Because you said yesterday, they said that schools are banning or putting, a block on ChatGPT and other AI tools. You think that it should be taught in school rather than blocked?
Yeah,
right?
So someone's doing a thesis, they can actually write it out on ChatGPT. Right, so you've got to change what you're asking people because they can actually use ChatGPT to produce very, very quickly. But the same as a calculator, right? You don't ban the calculator, you teach how to use it.
Sure.
But you change the exam for sure.
Okay, so give me 5 tips that young people can implement this year if they want to kind of build their careers.
5 tips. Okay, first of all, decide what you want. It's number one. whatever field you're going into, decide what you want. Actually analyse yourself. So second thing is to really get deep in yourself. What are you good at? What do you like? What really do you enjoy? Then realise that there are opportunities out there. You know, let's say there's tougher times in looking for a job. You might have had to apply 3 times in the past, maybe it's 6 now. Okay, don't let that get to you. Just make sure you send out more application forms. Believe in yourself, I think, is a big one in life in general. So keep believing in yourself. Surround yourself with good people that give you good feedback, not people that give you negatives. So I think that's super important. And then whatever career you decide on, make sure you learn. There's so much information everywhere, whether it's YouTube. Actually take an interest. You know, I happen to know you're a Liverpool fan. If on a Monday morning you know the Liverpool score, and you're in the financial industry and you don't know what the stock market did on Friday, okay, guess what? Maybe it's not the right business for you. So if you're going into an industry, sure, watch the football score, watch Liverpool, but make sure you also know what's happening in that industry. Read the news. It doesn't take you long, but know the headlines so you can actually be eloquent in that business.
Okay, so that's good. That's led us into the market. So again, it's been a couple of volatile years in the stock market from sort of the end of 2021 through 2022. Things now look like they're starting to stabilise.
So if we look at the problems in the market, we've got supply chain, it's affected, let's go Amazon, and we can take any example. China seems to have gone through COVID now, has decided it's gonna open up and go for it. So that problem gets solved. Secondly, energy costs continuing to rise. Well, we've gone through the winter for most of Europe and they've actually got energy supplies, so there's less strain on it. Then you've got wage inflation. Companies are laying people off. That's not great for those people.
But for their balance sheets, it sorts it out.
For the balance sheets, it's good.
Yeah.
And actually, it reduces the effects of the issue, which is wage inflation. So I think it's super positive things from a market point of view, and actually investors can take advantage of it. Everybody's saying the market's going to recover second half of the year. Okay, well, if you knew it was going to recover in the second half of the year, you'd invest before then, right? Maybe it's the second, or the second quarter of the year, not the second half. So, you know, I don't know when it recovers. Everybody's saying it's going to, just when. I'd rather be in the market so I don't miss the opportunity.
Are there any other asset classes that you're looking at? I know you've been quite vocal about crypto in the past. Where do you see that going? Because that's had an awful couple of years. Valuations are lower than they've been for about 4 or 5 years now. Is that something that you're bullish on, or are you kind of keeping a bit of distance?
Yeah, I'm super bullish on crypto longer term. However, there's regulations coming in, and as they come in, there could be some volatility. So, you know, would I put all my life savings there? No. Do I believe it's going up in the future? Absolutely. So it's something you'd diversify, something you'd watch carefully. Regulations coming ultimately are good. Short term, it could cause volatility.
There's a lot of question marks over which coin offers the best value for investors. Is there a way of solving that? Because you wouldn't necessarily say to a client, okay, purchase this individual stock in the same way that you wouldn't say purchase this individual coin. Yep. Is there a way to diversify your risk across different coins?
I think it's difficult. I mean, I think Bitcoin's in a space on its own, limited amount, gold-like properties. I think it's in a space that is there and it's secure, if you want to put it that way, from a crypto point of view. So I feel that it'll maintain that space, and regulators have said it's a commodity rather than being a security. So then when we look at other coins, we're really talking about usability. So in the past, everyone's said, this is going to be usable, this is going to be. Okay, well now I think each individual coin and each individual product needs to prove its usability to really gain significant momentum.